All right. So, can you tell us about yourself first?
All right, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Christopher Martin Samuel. I am currently 22 years old and I'm a graphic designer.
All right. What makes you interested in applying as a designer in our company?
All right, first of all, Riot is a game company that I am look upon very much because I've played your games a lot, such as Valorant and League of Legends, and I really like your style, especially those 2D and 3D rendering. That's why I'm looking forward in this company as a graphic designer or perhaps a 3D modeler, if you will. That's the reason I choose this company as a workplace. I'll be willing to work for a couple of years.
Very well. Can you tell us about your experiences in the design field and how it allows you to improve and develop your current skills?
I was an internship in an agency. I work a lot in art and illustration, such as artwork for an album and for a single. My last project is about, if you know about Bunga Jiwaku, it's I the one who designed the visual cover for the album, and I specialize in illustration and drawings for that project. And also I'm also specialized in motion graphic, and it helps me a lot in doing projects such as social media and YouTube content.
Very well. What is your main strength as a designer?
As I said before, I specialize in motion graphic and illustration. I've been drawing for maybe 10 years now, and also I really like the Kurosawa style, the cel shaded, and then I also managed to find myself really like the way I sculpt in 3D, but I never actually experienced that in a work field. So maybe if I get the chance in this company, I'll be able to make perhaps your 3D model in games such as Valorant, because that's one of the best style I ever seen.
Very well. So, what are your weaknesses as a designer?
My weaknesses as a designer, perhaps in my communication skill, because as a designer we are expected to work in teams. I usually find myself in a hard situation when I need to explain my duties to my coworkers, such as in my last experience when I wasn't available for the project. It's kind of hard for me to communicate to my coworker, and it's kind of take the project for a little while because of me, and that's pretty much my weakness.
How would you describe your design style? Where is your source of inspiration for your works?
My source of inspiration came from many things actually, but if it's illustration, it's usually revolves around anime and other semi-realistic. If it's motion graphic, it's revolves around Kurosawa, and then some Japanese style based motion graphic, such as uh, yes, that's pretty much about it. But usually when I'm designing, I always look up on my Pinterest, where I save a lot of boards in there, so I don't really need to find an example when I was assigned a project. Yes.
Alright. Can you explain one of your favorite works from your portfolio?
My favorite work in my portfolio, probably the cover artwork for the Bunga Jiwaku. It's really a fun project when it's also pretty challenging because I gotta draw their personal, the Yovinuno member of the band, and I really find myself just a little bit struggling because the supervisor challenged me to make their persona, but the but didn't wait. How do I explain this? Let's just say the art style is experimental, but not too much, so it doesn't affect their fans, I guess.
Very well. How would you say you work in a team?
As I said before, uh, other than communication, I can work in team very well, in professional, because of my projects done just enough so the project can be moved into another people. But yeah, other than communication, I'm fine with working with teams.
Very well. Have you ever worked with a client that has a different vision than yours?
I haven't, but my supervisor usually gave a lot of restrictions. For example, the cover artwork. There's a lot of revision around the artwork, so yeah, a lot of decision making that I need to focus on the task other than my ideology, because usually drawings requires a lot of, let's just say, art skill, because it's quite different than design.
Alright, and now for my final question. How do you see yourself in the future as a designer in the AI era, and how would you adapt?
Just as many designers think, the AI, the artificial intelligence is a tool to create. I myself use a lot of artificial intelligence in my work, just to brainstorm the idea. Usually I put words into more detail and specific themes, so that the artwork can be done with me drawing it, but the idea of it revolves around the generative text the AI made.
Alright, that concludes our conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.